Well, here I am amongst the begonias, the marigolds, the coleus, the geraniums. Well, you get the idea. Hi, welcome back to Willey Farms. I'm Donna Cavender. We've got a great show lined up for you today. We're going to talk about herbs, we're going to cook, of course, and we're going to talk about everybody's favorite subject, spring cleaning. No? Well, we're going to talk about it anyway. We're Willey Farms. We're on Route 13, very easy to find, just south of Odessa and just north of Smyrna. Check us out online at willeyfarmsde.com. Right now, let's get to the show. All right, we're going to start off with everybody's favorite subject, spring cleaning. Not really, but we are going to talk about spring cleaning, and we are myself and Sarah Willey. Sarah's here to help me out. We've got lots of cleaning products, and we're talking mostly about the eco-friendly cleaning products, right? We've got the people that like to do the DIY stuff, you know, like to make the recipe and get that all together.
Right.
So what do we have that's kind of involved with that?
So yes, there's a lot of people, they want to get the pollutants and the toxins out of their home.
Right.
And they're all natural, and they want to do everything themselves. So I think vinegar is tops. In all home cleaning recipes, your white vinegar is going to be your most used ingredient, followed by probably lemons and baking soda. Baking soda is a mild abrasive.
And coarse salt is involved in there too.
Salt's also an abrasive. You can use your vinegar and your lemon to loosen up that charred layer that gets in your oven or on the bottom of your pots and pans.
Right.
Even hydrogen peroxide is used as a bleaching agent, also lemons.
I have seen the salt and the lemon, just salt and lemon, used on cutting boards, wooden cutting boards. And as far as recipes for this sort of thing is concerned, we're not showing you any because there are so many, and you can find them all online. But know that we've got all this sort of thing, that all the ingredients that you'll need for those do-it-yourself cleaners.
Right.
But if you're like most everybody and you just don't have time for that, there are plenty of natural and eco-friendly things that you can pick up here as well. And Sarah, let's look at this. This is, and there's something for everything. We got laundry detergent here.
Laundry detergent for sensitive skin.
Sensitive skin, that's another thing. People are so sensitive now with their allergies.
There's an all-purpose cleaner.
Even
we've got a
toilet bowl cleaner. It's all here.
Dishwashing detergent.
And this is particularly for countertops, and this is for the
stone granite.
the granite and countertop cleaner.
Right.
So if you've got really special granite countertops, there's something for that too. And Sarah, you were showing me these. These are so neat.
You squeeze
This
it
is
and smell.
It's for
Garbage
your
disposal,
garbage
freshener,
disposal.
and cleaning pods.
And they come in scents, and if you're not quite sure which scent you like, it says right there, squeeze and sniff. Smells good. I like, what was this one? Oh, the red pear and magnolia. Those are nice. So lots of choices for you.
And these are, I'll show you my favorites.
Okay.
I love the Bluebell scented Mayor's dish soap. And I like it just because it smells good. It works and it smells good.
Yeah, so you find the smell that you like because it's going to work, whichever one that you get.
I also like your Citrus Magic Natural Spot and Stain Remover. This has worked well for me. I have an off-white carpet, had stains on it. I used this and the stains went away.
Came right out.
Just like that.
Okay.
And then my latest favorite is Aunt Fanny's Cleaning Vinegar.
Vinegar, once again, vinegar coming into play with this. And of course, this was one that you didn't have to make yourself. Aunt Fanny made it for you. So, and you were telling me, I'm going to have to take one of these home because I haven't tried this one. I've tried some of the others, but I haven't tried this one. You were saying this really works.
It really works, and I sprayed it on some mineral buildup around the faucet. You spray it on, let it sit for a little while, and rub it.
Rub it off?
I got half of it off, and I did it over again. I got all the mineral buildup off of the faucet.
That's great. That's great. Okay, so we've got all these different cleaners, but now we want to look at something else that we've just gotten into the market, and you and I both have some of this stuff at home. This is the e-cloths, and they're called e-cloth because they're eco-friendly, because you're supposed to use them with just
water. So they have 1.6 million fibers per square inch. And that's
1.6
what,
million.
yeah, and that's where the cleaning power comes in, because
Okay.
there's so much surface area
Okay.
to collect that grease and that
Right.
grime that's on your hard surfaces.
And that's apparently that's why it works so well for me, because I have one of these. I took it home to try it out, and this handy little deal here is if you can't get it clean with this, this has a little bit extra abrasion here that you can clean it up. So that's one cloth, and it works really good for me.
And I used a cloth like this. I used it on my stainless, it's a brushed stainless steel dishwasher, and I was able to clean the entire face of the dishwasher very nicely.
And again, that's just with water. The
and
cloth and just water.
And the
Okay.
other favorites of mine are,
All right.
I can't decide if I'm a sponge person or a dishcloth person.
Okay, I've always been a sponge person.
And I was always a dishcloth person. And this is the best of both.
Okay.
It feels like a cloth, but it's shaped like a sponge. You just hold it in your hand. You can wipe out your pots and pans, your glasses, your plates, and also it has the side with a little extra abrasion and the side with just the cloth.
A little softer there. So there's all different kinds of cloths. This is another cloth, and this is, again, perfect for cleaning with just water. And it's a little bit fluffier that you can use, and even dusting.
It's like a dusting glove.
It's
and
a glove
this would
that you
be
dust
the
with.
dusting cloth.
Dusting
and
cloth.
it really, instead of pushing the dust around, it really captures the dust
It collects
onto
it.
the cloth.
Okay, all right. And you can do that with your hand, but there's this that will go on the bottom of a mop, and this is our kind of our mop here. This is what you can clean your kitchen floor with, and this is it's on with Velcro. So, and again, just water. You take this over to the sink, run it under the sink, and squeeze it out so that it's a little damp. You put it right back out on here, and then you clean your kitchen floor. And I have one of these. It works great. But you can also do your dusting with the same mop. You pull this off, take this out, and this is very fluffy, and you, again, put it down there, and then just go around the floor and mop your floor, right? We also have, let's see, this is another e-cloth over here.
This says for the bathroom.
For the bathroom. So every room of the house is taken care of. So that's for the bathroom. And this package here, if you get this has all of the cloths.
You have all of them in there, including the most popular, which would be the window cleaning cloth. So with just a little squirt of water, you can wash your window and then polish it shiny with the other.
Polish it up shiny. And if you have, I know in the bathroom sometimes folks have trouble with calcium buildup and that sort of thing, or rust. And they also have same sort of thing. Now this is calcium and rust remover. Oh, also lime too. So you can use, it's a liquid. You can use that to get rid of those nasty stains that you have in your bathroom and maybe in your kitchen too as well.
Right.
So there's plenty of things to keep you busy with a little elbow grease and some of these great cloths and a little bit of water. Spring cleaning, it's over just like that, right?
Just like that.
Just don't ask us to come over and help you clean, okay? So now you know all about spring cleaning, the environmentally friendly way. So now we've made our way to the greenhouse. Everybody loves fresh, and Gretchen is going to tell us all about fresh herbs, how to care for them and how to use them in cooking and other ways too. So where are we going to start today, Gretchen?
We're gonna
start
head
down
left.
here?
We are.
Okay.
There's a lot of different herbs we have represented here. I want to start with these guys. These guys, not all herbs are for eating. Some are just for prettiness, for fragrance, for potpourris, arrangements, and things like that. That they're still an herb. They don't have to be edible to be an herb. They're just still an herb. This is eucalyptus.
Okay, and they use that in cough drops.
Yeah, it gets huge. Not this type though.
Oh, not this type.
But this type is going to get huge, and you would harvest it, and you would put it in flower arrangements. You could use it in potpourri.
Oh, okay. It's very pretty.
Isn't it pretty? And there's like a silvery gray one that we get too.
Okay.
This little guy, this is wormwood or southernwood is this one in particular. Smell that. Smell the oils, and then you smell on your hand. You'll have the oil. Again, another one that's just really pretty. But you would use it in potpourris, and it's the fragrance that you're going for there.
All right.
Then we're going to talk about some herbs that would be, if you never wanted to eat it, it's just still pretty as a plant in your landscape.
Okay.
Oregano is one of those. Thyme makes a really wonderful ground cover, stays nice and low. Some people put it in between stones.
Oh,
and then
nice.
as you're
Okay.
walking, it makes a scent.
It releases the scent.
Yes.
That's
So
cool.
some things are just pretty in the landscape. This is sage. Gets very, very large. Gets beautiful blue flowers in the middle to late summer. And again, if you never ate it, it's just pretty as a plant.
Okay.
It's a benefit. You can eat it also.
Yeah, there you go.
A lot of people don't always have a lot of sun in their yards. There are a few herbs. Most herbs are going to want some sun. These two, this is sweet woodruff and this is mint. Mint can go part sun,
Oh, mint.
and it can even go to those spots in the yard that are a little bit wet.
Okay.
And mint, I would almost always container it in a way because it really wants to live, and it will go everywhere. So
That
if you
smells
can
so good.
contain it, either by putting it in a container to start with, or
Okay.
you put it in a bucket, knock out the bottom of the bucket, screw the bucket into the ground, leave about this much on the sides, and it won't jump.
Okay.
And you can
Good.
containerize it a little
Good
bit there.
idea. Good idea.
Let's see.
All
What
right.
other here's a guy. You and I have talked about this one before. It's sorrel, which is one of my very favorites.
Sorrel,
It's a
okay.
perennial. It's an edible. You use it in salads. You want to try a little bit?
It's kind of. It is sort of like a lettuce. Oh, I'm supposed to.
You can
I
try.
get to eat.
Lemony, bright. You can eat it fresh. You can use it like
Oh.
spinach in a soup or something, and
That-
just like wilt it in a soup.
That pop of flavor.
Isn't that nice? Yeah, it's
That's
good
good.
stuff.
Okay,
Good stuff.
continue. Go ahead.
Continue. You forage. And then we've got things that aren't hardy in our area. If we were a little farther south, we might be able to have these over winter. Sometimes they'll winter, sometimes they won't, depending on how our winter is.
Because we're zone 7.
We're zone 7.
Okay.
Rosemary is right on the edge
Oh, okay.
of zone 7. The last couple of years we've had very nice winters. See, and I want to say nice winters meaning not very cold. Nice winters, I like when everything, all the bugs get killed and the
Right.
diseases are dampened off because of the cold. But when you have a nice warmer winter, some plants that might not always winter over do.
So now we're moving into the definite use it in cooking.
Yes, though
Okay.
some of these are. Some of
Right,
these are,
sure.
but we're definitely over here
Okay.
with this. Basil would be an annual one. This isn't
One
gonna
of my
come back.
favorites.
You have to pinch it all summer long.
That's the trouble that I have. I have to keep up with the pinching.
Yes. Whether you're going to use it or not, you've got to pinch it back because if it it bolts and it gets to go to seed to flower, it doesn't
Yeah.
taste as good.
Okay.
So pinch, 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 pinch.
Okay.
Give it to the neighbors. Put it in a vase, and it's really pretty. If you can use it, great. And we're going to talk about
We're gonna
how
talk
to
about
use
how
this
to-
in a minute. Too.
Yeah, how
Yep.
to keep it.
Another really nice, easy herb to use is lemon verbena. That's another one that smells so good.
Yeah.
You just,
All
I
the
keep
herbs.
it next to the door, and I just every time going in and out of the door, I grab it and
The
smell
poor
it.
plant. It's
No, it loves
feeling
it.
abused.
It loves
It's
it.
a hug every time a hug.
And then you would just clip it. You take some of the leaves off, put it in some hot water. 3 minutes later, a nice cup of tea.
Okay. Let's keep going. This
Yep, yep, yep.
is
This is just an example of a container where you would have some different things. This is a golden oregano. Look how pretty that is.
that is pretty.
A different kind of mint.
So you've got a
another
pretty
kind of thyme.
container, but you also could come out the kitchen door and snip, snip, snip,
Yes.
snip,
And if you've
take
got
it
a nice bit of sunshine in the kitchen, if you've got a nice sunny 6-8 hour sun window, I don't. A lot of people
Right,
do though.
right.
It could stay in the kitchen
Okay.
as well.
So let's talk about how we keep it over. And they're fresh
Yeah.
herbs, but there's a way that we can keep them so that a month from now.
Yeah, winter.
Yeah,
And
or in
yeah,
winter,
you're
yes.
You're going to harvest them in the summer so you can have them later on in the
Okay,
season.
so let's talk about that.
Well, let's talk actually first about harvesting it itself. You want to do it later in the morning.
Oh.
You want to do it after the dew has dried off,
Okay.
but you don't want to do it in the heat of the day. So morning hours, not super early, but after, so that the dew has come off.
Okay.
If you are harvesting for flowers, like say rosemary, you can eat the flowers. Lavender, you eat the flowers. You harvest them just before they open.
Okay.
The leaves you can do just about any time, and you can actually take up to 75% of whatever the plant has grown that year.
Oh, So you're
You
not
need to
hurting
leave-
it if you really
You can take up
trim
to
it back.
75%
Okay.
off. Yeah,
Okay.
and that is just fine. And then you dry, and you can hang it in the kitchen. You could dry it in the oven. You can dry it in the microwave. You can put it in the dehydrator.
And you don't have to do it. You just,
Yeah, yeah.
if you want to, you could just
Yeah.
lay it out and have it dry.
The more whole you keep it when you're doing the drying process, the better. You really want to crush it just before you're ready to use
Okay,
it.
good. All right.
And then
Good to know.
if you don't want to dry,
Okay.
I love this way of preserving herbs.
All right.
It's so easy. There's no drying and fussing with or anything. You pick it, you chop it. So for example, what I'm going to do is I've got some basil here. I'm just going to roll it up. You don't do a lot of stem, but you can use some stem.
Okay.
And then we have right here waiting a ice cube tray.
Ice cube tray. Everybody. Well, no, I guess everybody doesn't always have an ice cube tray anymore.
No, true. Well, but you need an ice cube tray.
You need-
You don't want the fridge that where the ice just comes out of the holder, out of the freezer. Basil.
Okay.
If you wanted to do just a solid type herb in this ice cube tray, I have basil. This is a mix. I've got some thyme, I've got some rosemary, and I've got some
Oh.
oregano.
Kind of like Italian seasoning.
Yes. So if you wanted a certain kind of herb, go solid.
Sure.
If you want herbs that are going to be good for pasta, make your own mix of the herbs that you know you like. Or you want to do a stew, chicken stew, so you would use thyme and parsley and
Right.
things like
or if
that.
you're doing a spaghetti sauce.
Yes. Then
Okay.
you
So
go-
so we get it all cut up and we
you're
put
going to
it
use
in there.
You're going to fill it up 2/3, 3/4 of the way, somewhere
Okay.
like that, and then you're going to use a light oil. You can also use just water, and that's fine.
And freeze it.
I
Okay.
feel like the oils. I feel like the colors are held better, so I tend to
Oh,
like it. You're also
okay.
not going to use these fresh. This is going to have to be cooked. They are going to color a little.
Right.
But you fill the rest with an oil. It can be a light olive oil. It can be like a canola oil.
Okay.
And then you just fill it the rest
fill
of
it
the
up.
way.
And put it in the freezer.
And put it in the freezer. About overnight, a little longer than if it was just ice water going in there. You can chop, you could even puree them in your machine and get a really
Oh, okay.
fine chop. The bigger it is, the more presence it'll have in what you're making. You'll see more green leafy if it's bigger.
So you get it frozen, and then after it's frozen, you take it out. You take the cubes out.
And you're going to keep them in the freezer either in a Ziploc bag or you can put them in a airtight container.
Airtight container.
And you just
Okay.
pull out 2 or 3 because you're making a big thing of pasta.
Right.
And you throw them in the sauce.
That works
Fresh
great.
herbs.
Now, what are these for?
These guys are when we were talking about drying.
Once you get them all dried.
Once you get them all dry, and they have to be dry because if there's a little bit of water, you could possibly have a mold problem. That's why you want them absolutely dry.
Do we know how you can tell whether they're dry enough to?
They will be very brittle.
Okay.
If you do it in the oven, if you do it on the lowest setting, like 180, maybe 4 hours, and
Okay.
you could even flip them every once in a while.
Okay.
And then once that's done, you want to put them in something that's airtight.
Airtight.
And if you can keep them out of the sun, even better.
Okay. And I bet I know what this is for.
What?
Infused. You can put them the herbs in either vinegar
Yes.
or in oil.
Yes.
And infuse it
Yes.
so that the
And you
oil
can put a
soaks up
couple
the.
cloves of garlic in the bottom. There's lots of fun.
There you
You
go.
can have with that, and
Okay.
it's pretty as well.
Yeah,
And then this
very
is just
nice.
a smaller container that we have.
Oh, a whole series of containers.
Yeah, and then in this there's even some little labels to put. You could put the mix that you made if it was a mix, or the plain herb that it is. You could even put the date
Okay.
that you harvested.
That's awesome.
So
Okay. So much information, but good information. So now you know all about the lovely herbs. And like we said, just have the herbs just to smell. They're so nice.
and we've got so many.
So many.
They're everywhere.
They are everywhere.
They're
So
everywhere.
whatever herb you're looking for, stop by and check us out. But of course, it's seasonal.
It is.
It's
is.
seasonal,
We usually
so-
have them early spring, heavy spring, early summer, and into summer. And I even try and keep some herbs as late as Thanksgiving.
Okay, so just keep in mind that we're filming in late April, early May, so just keep that in mind. All right, wonderful information. Thank you, Gretchen.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Now, what are you going to cook for me?
What do you want? We can do it.
Well, now we know all about herbs. Now we're going to find out all about eggs. And I think it's going to be an excellent segment.
Oh my, Donna.
Oh well, let's move on. We'll get better from here. With me here is Joan Powers. Joan, thanks for coming out and helping us today. Really appreciate it.
Yes.
Joan and her husband own Powers Farm, and they are one of our vendors. We get eggs, we get meats.
The pork, the pork sausages you sell here.
Pork sausages. Yeah. Okay. So we get lots of things from Powers Farm, and today we're gonna do a little cooking with eggs. But first, we want to talk about the eggs and talk about the farm too. How long have you been farming?
Well, our farm is here in Townsend, and we're celebrating our 40th year.
Wow.
Bill's parents bought the farm in 1977. And
so it's multi-generational.
Right, and then after his father passed away, he purchased it from his mom, and then he met me.
Well, there you go.
The rest is history.
The rest is history. And how many acres do you have?
Our home farm is about 40 acres, but we do own about 82 acres down the road, but it's actually in Kent County, Maryland. But we live right on the Maryland state line.
Okay, so big business here. And of course, you have the eggs.
Yes, we do.
So
Lots
of
eggs.
Lots of eggs. So how many hens do you have?
Well, that varies. Right now we have about 1,400. But
Okay.
I think there's 300 and some getting delivered tonight.
Oh,
so,
okay.
But that does vary. Once the chicken stops laying eggs efficiently, then we turn them into stewing hens, which
Well,
we
there
actually
you go.
have a big demand for. So.
Okay, all right.
But yeah.
And what's the turnover time on that? How long do you keep them until they turn over?
About 2 or 3 years, I believe.
Oh, okay.
That's a Bill.
Excellent.
That's a Bill Powers question. But yeah, and we do get about. I think we're getting about 70, 80 dozen a day. So
That's a big omelet.
That's a lot of eggs.
That's
yeah.
a lot of eggs. All right. And eggs are really good for you.
They are. They're
Over
very
the
good.
years, every once in a while, they get a bad rap, but they really shouldn't, because every egg has 6 grams of protein.
Yep.
And it's gluten-free for all those folks out there that are dealing with that sort of issue.
Right. And there's lots of vitamins in the yolk that are important. A lot of people only eat the whites, but it really is nutritious to eat the whole thing.
And if you really, really, really have a terrible time with cholesterol, then maybe you should think about not eating so many eggs. But really, the cholesterol doesn't really come into play for someone who has a normal health.
Right.
No
everything
health
in
issues.
moderation.
Yes,
Right.
everything in moderation. Okay. So today we're going to make something that we call mini egg. Well, we don't know what to call it. Mini egg cups or mini egg muffins,
cups.
or
I don't know.
But at any rate, they are lovely. They're small, and you can cook them and have them for breakfast right away.
Right.
Or what a lot of people do is make a whole bunch, eat some for breakfast, and then you can store them.
You can refrigerate them, or you
refrigerate
can
them,
freeze them and then
freeze
just
them.
microwave them. Yep.
Yep. Bring them out next day, later in the week, and have great breakfast again. So let's get started with our mini egg cups. And
Well, you were gonna do your egg trick.
Oh, that's right. I forgot my egg trick.
And this is something I didn't even know.
See, I surprised her too. People sometimes they don't know. Well, they find an egg and they go, well, is it hard boiled or is it raw or what? Here's the trick. You take the egg. Now this is a raw egg. It won't spin. See, it won't spin. And I'm really trying to spin it. It won't
Don't
spin.
let it roll off the table.
This is a hard boiled egg. It spins.
Look at that. Now
Who
we
knew?
know.
Now
we
you know. Okay, there's my egg trick. Okay. Oh.
Put that one back there. There you go.
That's the one. That's the one. Okay, I'll be your sous chef today.
Okay.
Let's go with the muffin cups.
Okay, well, the first is really simple. You just mix everything together. So the first thing we need to do is crack 6 eggs.
Okay.
And we have 6 eggs here.
All right.
And I always crack an egg in a separate bowl first. I don't care if egg was laid that morning. It's just better. And that, especially if there's shell in it, it doesn't go in your whole dish. So then we'll just do each one separately.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you can help me.
Oh, okay.
Sous chef, you can help me.
All right, thank you.
Just you do yours and I'll do mine.
Okay. Oh, you show me up. That's
Right.
what's going to happen.
I did say we were going to do one at a time, didn't I? Then I asked you to help me.
Yeah.
Got to put it in the bowl.
Oh,
You see what I'm saying?
I see. I got you.
Okay. How about, there we go.
Oh.
No, you dump, here, give me the egg. You dump, I'll crack.
Hey, what a good idea.
We're a good team. See, once we get it straightened out here. Now look how big that yolk is.
Yeah,
It's huge.
and nice pretty color
Yes.
too. So now we got 4.
Right.
Here we
There
go.
we go.
And these are large eggs? These are...
Well, we call them unclassified. It's actually, we don't just sell large or extra. This is,
Okay.
But the ones we sell here at Willey's are mostly large and extra large mixed.
Okay.
If we happen to have a lot of mediums that day, there might be one medium in there. But and this recipe calls for 6 eggs, but when I made it before, it actually made way more than what we needed. So our eggs are much bigger.
Oh, right.
A dozen of these, even though they're mixed with large and extra large, still weighs more than a jumbo dozen, almost an extra large in a regular commercial store.
Okay.
So, all right, so we put in our 6 eggs.
6 eggs, okay.
And then we need a 1/4 cup of canned green chilies, which took me forever to find at the grocery store last night. They're way up on the top.
Okay.
Okay, and then we need a 1/4 cup, maybe we do need the spatula, a 1/4 cup of cottage cheese.
Cottage cheese.
And you can use the low
fat.
low fat,
cottage
yeah,
cheese,
and a
yes.
1/4 cup of shredded cheddar, or really any
that's
kind of cheese that you want.
Whatever your favorite
Right.
cheese is. I think we're using sharp cheddar today.
And you can actually put whatever you want in this. You could add, peppers or whatever, but
Right.
we're just following this recipe today. 2
Right.
tablespoons of milk. That Donna eyeballed, I think that's a little more. And we don't really need that now. And we just need a little pinch, half a pinch of pepper. I'm gonna put a bit more in there.
A little bit more. There we go.
Yeah. 1/8 of a cup, 1/8 of a teaspoon is what it
1/8
calls
of a
for. And then we need
teaspoon.
half a teaspoon of salt.
A little bit of
That
salt.
looks good.
Okay.
All right, so now you're gonna whisk that up.
Oh, I get the whisk.
You're
okay.
the whisker. You just mix it up really good. And then it's a good idea to do this like in a mixing bowl with a spout if you have one, which we forgot to bring ours. So we borrowed from the kitchen a pitcher.
We borrowed from the kitchen.
Yeah, we're just gonna mix this up a little bit more. There's one yolk in there, doesn't see no one.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm fired as a sous chef.
You did good.
Oh, well.
Now we'll see how you do it pouring, so we'll see.
Oh, I get to pour it into the pitcher?
Well, we'll see. Do you want to do it or me do it?
I'll do it.
Okay, let's see if we
I'll
can do this.
All right, are we ready? We're
Ready.
And there we
Excellent,
go.
excellent.
There we go.
Excellent, Donna.
Excellent.
Okay, there you go. Okay, so this is the tricky part. Oh, we almost forgot to spray. Now this is a non-stick cooking muffin tin, little mini muffin tin. You want to spray it really good. I didn't spray it very good last time I made them, so.
And a little tip, we're spraying it over top of the counter. Don't spray it over top of the floor.
Oh, right, well we have slippage then.
Because then you have major
Yes,
slippage.
yes. Okay, so I may have overdone that a little bit, but anyway. So, and one thing, you don't want to overfill them, and that might be almost too much.
Yeah.
And like I said, you're probably going to have more than what it's going to hold in this
Right.
muffin tin because our eggs are a lot bigger.
So those are minis.
These are minis, and oops,
That's how it goes.
that's right. So, practice makes perfect. Maybe by the time we get to the end, that doesn't have enough, but we'll come back to that one.
Okay, so when you get to the end and you've got them all filled up and maybe you've got some of the extra little tasty bits in the bottom, you can pull them out into the muffin pan, and then we put it in the oven.
Put it in the oven. It's only for like 15 minutes, but I would set the timer for maybe 12. Check them. You don't want them overcooked too much, especially if you're going to be reheating them.
Yes.
So it's at your own preference. If you like them brown on the bottom or whatever, so just test them first. You can always cook them longer. You can't cook them less.
Right.
So.
Keep an eye on them.
Right, and then they should come out pretty easily.
Okay. So you
Okay.
take these, and we'll take these over here and put that in the oven. This is our make-believe oven. And then when you take them out, you get them out, and they look lovely like this.
Right, and they're great for kids because they're little, or
Right.
adults. You can just
And
pop them in your mouth while you're driving to work.
Put a couple in a baggie, and yeah, you've got them on your way to work. So there are so many things that you can do with eggs. Of course, this is just one of them, and I made some deviled eggs. Always a big
Right.
hit at picnics, and summer season is coming up. Now we will have this recipe for you here at Willey Farms, right here. We'll have it right here at the
And I
sampling
do want to
station.
talk about hard-boiled eggs. Because because our eggs are so very fresh, especially the ones we sell here at Willey Farms.
Okay.
There are times, especially in the summer, they sell so many here that we're always making deliveries, and those eggs could be hours old. They could have been that day's eggs.
Okay, so they're very, very
They're
fresh.
very fresh, and people always say there's no expiration date on them, but the Department of Agriculture does not require us to put a date on them. But we tell people from the date of purchase, you can keep them for at least 5 weeks. You can keep them even longer than that. And a way to tell an egg if it's fresh is to put it in a tall glass of water, and if it floats to the top, it's got a big air bubble in it. That means it's getting old. It's pretty old. If it floats, you might just want to throw it away.
Right. Okay.
But if it sinks to the bottom, That
You're
is
good.
a really fresh egg.
Okay.
If it tilts up a little bit, that's a good one to hard boil.
Okay.
Yep.
And the thing about fresh and not quite so fresh when you do deviled eggs is if it's really, really fresh,
It could be hard to
it's
peel.
hard
Now,
to
there's
peel.
lots of people swear by
Oh.
different methods, and there's someone even posted some on our Facebook page.
Okay.
She swears by steaming, baking them in the, I don't know. It's hard.
You find your own little
Right,
technique and
right,
you go with
right,
it, okay? So we've got our mini cups here that we can do. Of course, there's deviled eggs. We're also going to have a couple other recipes for you that you can pick up here. This one sounds like it tastes really, really good. Texas-style eggs and potato skillet.
That sounds
Yeah.
like a good dinner to
Oh
me. Yeah.
my gosh.
Or lunch.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
right,
Yep.
right. And Eileen and I did a frittata not too long ago, and here's another frittata, which is pretty much just eggs and potatoes, hash brown potatoes, and a little bit of cheese. So
Sounds good.
we'll have those recipes for you too. So Joan, thank you very much for coming out and helping us.
Oh, it was fun.
But now we have to taste.
Oh, cool.
Okay,
That's the best part, right?
That's the best part. Okay. There you go.
Good.
It's got the green chilies and the cheese.
Very good.
Okay.
And quick.
And quick. Yes. It's excellent. It's
Excellent.
excellent. Sorry. Thanks, Joan.
Bye-bye.
Happy eating. Well, as you can see, we've got hot coffee and wonderful pastries here. Some morning you should stop by and check it all out. Thanks for watching the show today. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned some things too. Remember, stop by and see us. We're on Route 13 in Townsend, just south of Odessa, just north of Smyrna. I'm Donna Cavender. Thanks for checking us out here at Willey Farms. You have a great day.